we are doing whatever it takes. It's about giving your all. From the players on the field to the members in the stands. Do whatever it takes. Call 1300 GO Bombers.
No, I just put the finishing touches on. I think it was the last bolt. I had to screw in up there, but so obviously it's looking great. It's almost finishing, and we're looking forward to getting out here.
Do you get the job because of your height or your building skills?
Definitely not my building skills. No, I think it's a luxury of being one of the taller players in the team. I get to come out here and do the fun stuff.
How was the experience up at Wangaratta on the weekend? Obviously not coming away with the win would have been disappointing, but it seemed as if the whole experience was pretty good.
Yeah, it was obviously, as you said, disappointing to not get the win, but in a whole, it was good to get up to Wangaratta. Obviously, after last year, we unfortunately didn't get to go up there, but I think the fans were pretty happy with the way the game turned out this year, and it was exciting for all.
On a personal level, what do you think the split for you will be between playing forward line and ruck this year? Is it different to the past? Will you be spending more time in one or the other? I
don't think it'll be too much different. No, I think it'll. With myself and Paddy and David Hill obviously as well, and Joe Danaher we've got coming through as well. So I think it's more, for me, it's more probably 70-30, 70 ruck and 30% up forward. But obviously you have to do a lot of work up forward, and you don't get much of a rest these days with the lower numbers on the bench.
The mantle also for number one ruckman is really up for grabs. Do you feel like that's a great opportunity for you?
Yeah, definitely. I'm very excited for that, to have that opportunity in front of me, and I know it's going to change from week to week. As I said, I've got Paddy Ryder and David Hill there, and it's going to probably be the three of us to get us through the season. Not one ruckman can do it to take you the whole way through the season. It just doesn't happen anymore. So we've got the three of us there that can shoulder the load.
Were you one of those guys who got through a full pre-season? Did you do a
Yeah, so I was pretty lucky. I got through about 95% of the pre-season, and obviously getting through that much of the pre-season, it gives you a good base and to go into the season, and gives you that confidence.
You had an injury in the last round, didn't you? Against Collingwood, you didn't play.
Yeah, it was a bit of a strange one. It was in the warm-up before the game. I was doing ruck work just like every other warm-up, and I landed on one of the assistant coach's foot, and I broke my cuboid in my ankle. So it's not ideal getting injured in the last game of the season. You obviously don't have that medical attention that you would during the season, but touch wood, it's been really good so far.
And it was able to recover obviously in the break when you guys.
Yep, exactly. So I was in a moon boot for about 6 weeks overseas, and did all the recovery and the protocol down to a T. So no, it was as I said, touch wood, it's been great so far.
But did you travel around with the moon boot on?
Yeah, so I was.
Sights, did you see?
It was a bit of a funny one. Obviously, I had the moon boot on, and getting through customs getting into America, it wasn't the easiest thing. They take you into these little rooms and X-ray your moon boot, and they were quite inquisitive about it.
Was it a good challenge, like, to stick to that program while you were on holidays? Would have required a bit of attention to detail, I suppose. How did you find that? Was it?
Yeah, it was. It was. I guess it was a weird happening. Like I've never really done it before. I've never really been injured in the off season, so it's just continued talks with the physios and the doctors back home, and checkups and that kind of thing. And you obviously you have to alter your lifestyle a little bit while you're overseas. But yeah.
Where did you go to?
I went over to the States with a group of boys, and then travelled through Miami, New York, LA. So yeah, it was great.
So once the guys were ready to give you the up and going, and were you ready to go with them?
Yeah, I was. I think I pretty much ran day one of pre-season back. So we had 8 weeks off, and I didn't do much weight bearing for the first 6 weeks of the break, and then the last 2 weeks I was able to ramp it up a little bit and do bits and pieces of running, and then probably about 2 or 3 weeks into the pre-season, I was back with the main group.
Did you have to do anything with it now to protect it at all?
No, not at all. It's completely gone. Yeah.
I know that you said that the goal is to kind of get the three of you through the season, but do you make it your own personal goal that come round one against the Crows that you're lining up for that first round?
Absolutely. That's been my goal the whole way along through pre-season, and as I said before, I've been able to do 95% of the pre-season, and that gives me confidence that I will be there round one.
And what are you coming into your season, we know that ruckmen generally take a little bit longer to reach their peak. What are the last pieces of the puzzle that you reckon are coming together for you in terms of being able to take on that number one?
Yeah, with me, it's I haven't been probably naturally gifted with the ability of running, so it's taken me a little bit longer and I probably needed those 4 or 5 pre-seasons under my belt to get that base. This year I felt like I've been able to run a lot better over the ground, and yeah, as I said, getting that good chunk of pre-season in, it's really helped me.
Are you feeling competitive through this when you're working in training and such? Or, I mean, are you supportive? How would you describe it? Is it supportive, competitive atmosphere?
Yeah, it's a good question. I get asked that a lot. I think out in the track it's extremely competitive, but then off the track we're very supportive of each other. We know what each other needs to work on and that kind of thing. And David Hill's been great for me this pre-season. He's almost been like a coach to me over the past 4 months.
Does that just show, I suppose, what kind of guy he is and how generous he is? I mean, you're competing with him for that number 1 spot, and yet he's willing to go out of his way and kind of help you help the team.
Absolutely, that sums up David Hill, I guess. He's a very selfless person, and for me, it's a great opportunity to learn off probably one of the best that's been over the last 10 years, and to pass on his tricks to me. It's great for me.
How are the boys looking out of the weekend? Michael Hurley, he's struggling a bit with a leg injury. Is he doing okay?
Yeah, I think Hurl's got a little corky early on in the game, and then I think he copped a knock on it late in the game as well, which is but he was fine. I saw him today at training and he was running around, so I'm sure he'll be fine for this week.
A few grumbles about the Etihad Stadium surface. You played there the first week of the NAB. Did you find it a bit tough on the foot?
No, I didn't find it too bad. I guess it's a funny one. I've heard a lot about the Etihad surface, but I guess the groundskeepers, they're doing everything they can to get it to a playable level, and I think it's fine. Yeah.
Tom, just quickly, which coach did you land on, and did you do them any damage?
No, I landed on our development coach, James Burns. Yeah. He was we give him a bit of he cops a little bit at the moment, so he doesn't normally do the ruck stuff before the game, and it was his first time, and yeah I think it'll be his last time as well.